So the verse which we looked at yesterday had the word Bhratribhyam. So Bhagavan Rama mounted his vehicle, which was Pushpaka Vimana, along with two brothers. Actually, it struck me right after the meeting, like, come on, he had Lakshmana with him. Why with two brothers? There's a duel. So there must have been Rama, Lakshmana, but then who is the second brother? And then I looked up in the translation in Prabhupada's Srimad Bhāgavatam. It's Sugriva. Yeah, so Prabhupada gives the information that, Sugriva considered to be like a brother. The word in a word for word, it's written that with his brother Lakshmana and commander Sugriva, so Sugriva is counted there as a brother. So that just that piece of information that I wanted to share with you all. And yeah, today we will start with verse 34, and we'll do 35th as well. So Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Gomutra Yavakam Shrutva Bhratarang Valkalambaram Mahakaruniko Tapya Jatilang Sthandileshayam. And the first word is Gomutra Yavakam. It's a compound. It is a noun. It could be masculine, it could be neuter. If it's masculine, it is 2-1. Second case, singular. Neuter could be both first and second case. So what does it mean, Gomutra Yavakam? Let's start from the end. Yavakam. What is Yavakam?
Barley.
Barley, yeah. So it's a grain, yeah. Yavakam. And there is a barley by itself means Yava. It's just Yava. But then there is one ka suffix applied onto it. Let's see at the end, I'll explain you about it. Next, Gomutra. Okay, so that is quite new. It's a very popular thing these days, especially for health. So Gomutra Yavakam. That ka at the end of Yava, I mean, you can put that is a tadhita pratyaya, tadhita suffix ka, that you can put basically on any noun. One thing it can do, it can make the noun kind of in a diminutive way. Like, for example, if it's I don't know, pushpa, a flower, then pushpaka would mean like a little flower, okay? If it's a vriksha, a tree, then I can say vrikshaka, it will be like a small, tiny tree. So that is one thing that this suffix can do, ka. Another thing that this suffix, at the end of the samasa, especially here, we have a compound word, gomutra yavakam. It can immediately inform you that this is a bahuvrihi samasa. That is one more sign of the bahuvrihi samasa, and please note it down. It is a very important information. Okay, so one sign of the bahuvrihi samasa is as we know from our previous meetings, is a so-called wrong case. When you see a word declined in a wrong gender, yeah, you have a neuter word, and suddenly you see it appears as if it's a feminine word. Yeah, that means that, yeah, it's possibly this samasa is possibly a bahuvrihi samasa, describing a feminine object. Yeah, for example, or you have at the end of the samasa, the last word in the samasa, like here, yavakam, has that ka on it. So this is a sign of a bahuvrihi. It will not make yavaka into a diminutive noun, like a small, tiny, cute piece of barley. No, Theoretically it can, but most likely it doesn't. So here the ka fulfills the function of a denoting a bahuvrihi samasa for us, kind of highlighting it for us. So somebody who has a barley with a cow urine. So now we will explain what it means. So Shrutva, tell me about Shrutva.
The gerund.
Yes, that's the gerund with a
After hearing.
yeah, after hearing.
Having hearing.
Or while. It could be both.
Having heard.
Yeah. So from the dhatu shru, to hear, plus tva, shrutva. Okay. Hearing or having
So
heard.
the ka tadita you were saying, right? Why is it used in then pushpaka? Is that small flower? Pushpaka vimana.
Well, in the case of vimana, maybe it's a name of a particular vimana. Maybe it doesn't have that diminutive sense in regard to vimana. I just meant like if a pushpa means just a flower, not a vimana, then that ka can make it diminutive, like a small. It was just an example. Yeah. So now next is bhrataram. Okay,
Noun masculine 2-1.
Yeah, noun masculine
Bhratri.
2-1, and the noun is bhratri. Yeah, and if you are studying noun endings, noun declensions, this is a very important group of nouns that end in that r. It's a vowel. It's considered a vowel. So that whole pattern you must memorize. You must know that table. So bhrataram means brother, and it's most likely an object because it's in the second case. So now let's look back at this gomutra yavakam, and this is most likely describing the brother because it can be masculine 2-1. Now brother, and if it's a bahuvrihi samasa, cow urine barley, then it is describing brother, you can say who had barley, but actually what's expressed here is that Bhratara, which refers to Bharata, he was eating barley cooked in cow urine. This is what's implied. It's a little more than just you can discern purely by grammar. A little bit more is packed into this samasa. The fact that he's eating it, okay? Just by grammar, you can maximum say maybe, he has barley, okay? If you know that it's a bahuvrihi, but you cannot discern that he's the one who eats such barley. So this information is, supplied to us either by the, in the context of the story, or it from the commentaries, one way or the other. Just by grammar, you cannot access that much. And then another thing that gomutra yavakam, you can say barley and cow urine, but the thing is barley cooked in a cow urine. So there is one more thing which is missing in the samasa, the fact that it's cooked, pakva, cooked in cow urine. So this, again, you can't figure it out just by grammar. And this is called Madhya Padalopi Samasa, or whatever, Padalopi Samasa in Sanskrit. In other words, a compound from which a word was omitted. Okay? Like here, Gomutra Pakva Yavakam. Okay? So it would be too much to fit in the 8 syllables per line. So it's just being condensed for us, Gomutra Yavakam, okay? And the way that the barley was cooked in a cow urine is an information that we either know from before, or and we just kind of omit it because it's understood, or we gain that through the commentaries on those verses. Okay, so this kind of samasas, they exist. Yeah, the some element of in the samasa, some word is omitted in the middle. So this is the case here. So it's actually what it means. Yeah, gomutra pakva yavakam. And one more thing is missing is that he is like, what's the connection between brother and that barley is that he is eating that barley. He was subsisting himself for 14 years with a very austere food, yeah? Because he could not accept the royalties in Rama's absence. Okay, so Shrutva, that would be gerund. Brataram, Valkalambaram is the next word, Valkalambaram. So we can see which word we can immediately pick up from there.
Valkala, Ambaram.
Yeah, Ambaram is quite a known word.
Both.
It's, yeah, it will be masculine to one. Ambara is cloth, yeah? Ambara. So cloth or dress, okay? Let's say dress. And then Valkala is
Bark of a tree.
bark of the tree, yeah. Tree bark. There was some, I heard from, I don't remember the source, but it's not, we think that tree bark, dress made of tree bark, and we think of a bark being like this kind of a hard thing. How could they wear it, you know? But actually it was some kind of a, it was not just bark that they were wearing, it was some kind of a
jute cloth.
yeah, exactly. So a cloth prepared from those from the material, yeah. Might be jute, might be some another plant, but it was not the tree bark that we picture in our minds. Otherwise it would be, how can you even bend your body if you're clad into some kind of, that would be, yeah. So it has to be understood again culturally and with some background in mind, that it was not pure bark that you see like rough and hard, but it was something prepared from that. Okay, then we get a nice information from Ramananda Prabhu. In Hawaii, it is ancient art of making cloth from bark of trees. Yes, nice confirmation. So that art was there. So Valkalambaram, again, Valkalambaram, we are not talking about the dress, we are talking about whose dress was of tree bark, okay? Krishna has the name, Pitambara, whose dress is yellow, okay? Pitambara. And yeah, we have also in Jains, Digambara and Shvetambara, two main branches of Jainism. Again, they're not talking about the white cloth or Digambara, like direction cloth, meaning being naked. They're talking about, specific, people who follow either wearing white clothes or wearing nothing. So that's another instance of that Bahuvrihi Samasa. Okay, Mahakaruniko. And what is the actual ending?
Karunika.
Karunikaha, yes. And that's one of the most common sandhis which is there. And it means?
The most
Merciful,
Yes.
compassionate.
Comes from the word karuna. Karuna means compassion, mercy, and karunika means one who has that quality. Okay, and not okay. So this greatly merciful, or let's say compassionate here. Okay, then atapyaj. Okay, karunikaha becomes karuniko, and we see that apostrophe. And what does it say to us, the apostrophe, in the transliteration?
The Visarga is omitted.
No, Visarga turns into O together with A.
Oh.
And yeah, it informs us. Yet that A was deleted, yeah. And you have the avagraha sign in Devanagari for that. So atapyaj, what's the actual word there? What's the actual ending? Does it
Atapyat.
atapyat?
Atapyat.
Sorry. Atapyat. Why does atapyat becomes atapyaj?
Because of the word,
Yeah, it's
the
followed
consonant.
by ja. And if you look up in the rules, it's mentioned in the reference that the ta turns into that particular from the chavarga. If anything follows from the chavarga, it turns into that varna. So atapyat, it's a verb. Atapyat, it's a proper verb. What's the root of that?
Tap.
Tap. Yeah, we can guess. It's tap. And it's a past tense.
Verb. Lan.
Lung. Yeah, atapyat. Yeah. So, which means, and this is first person singular, which is in English we say third person. So, tap. What's the meaning of tap? One thing.
Suffer, pain.
Yeah, to pain, to experience pain, to suffer pain. Yeah, the primary meaning is actually to burn. Yeah, that's the primary meaning, to burn. Then by extension, it means kind of the inner burning that we feel, which means pain. So atapyat, felt pain. Okay. And then jatilam. Jatilam. Okay. With matted hair. Okay. Matted up. Yeah. Jata means matted dreadlocks. The sadhus wear, and because Bharata actually he basically lived like Ram all these 14 years. So with matted hair, Jatila. Technically it means like you know kind of entangled, yeah, entangled. That's literal meaning, Jatila. So when hair get entangled, we call it jata. And then standile shayam. Standile shayam. That will be also, and that jatila is also, sorry, that's adjective, not a noun. And karunika is also adjective, you know. So standile shayam, okay, when we see something ends in shaya, shaya means it comes from a verb, she, to rest, to lie down. So shaya, one who lies down. Yeah, or shayi, it can be both shaya and shayi. In case of Garbhodaka shayi Vishnu, or Karanodaka shayi Vishnu, Vishnu that lies down. That can be also shaya. Okay, lying. And standila is ground, basically. Standila is just a noun. Lying on the ground. Standile shayam. Yeah, here we have a case of and a vibhakti not being deleted inside the samasa. Sometimes it happens. There are some exceptional samasas where you do see vibhaktis inside. You know how exactly it is. There's much detail to that. So we'll not go into these minute details, but so that you are not surprised sometimes seeing this inside the samasa. It's not a mistake. It's there's a particular groups of samasas that such things are allowed. So lying on the ground. Okay, so the verb is atapyat. Shrutva would be a subordinate verb. So, having heard, he felt pain. Who is the subject of all that?
Karunika.
Okay, Mahakarunikah. Yeah. Greatly compassionate. We can say so, or we can, if you like. Did we have anything more direct in the previous verses?
Bhagavan.
Yeah, I think I will like that more because it's carried forward. Bhagavan. So he, being greatly compassionate. But we are talking still about Bhagavan. There's no new subjects. Yeah? So he felt pain, and felt pain. Can it have a subject? Felt pain. Well, to feel pain in English, it sounds like felt pain. But in Sanskrit, it means, you can't really separate it. It has no subject. It has no object. To feel certain emotions, it's an intransitive action. It cannot have an object because in English you separate it into words. Felt pain, but in Sanskrit it's all together in one word. Yeah, atapyat, and you cannot feel pain somebody, or you cannot feel pain something. So therefore there is no object for such verbs in Sanskrit, and therefore shrutva could have an object. Hearing something. Do we have an object for shrutva?
Brataram.
Brother. Okay. So what's the idea? Like hearing his brother means what do we mean to say?
About his brother.
About, yes. About. That's the idea. About. In English you would say about. In Sanskrit you just say hearing his brother. Doesn't mean that, okay, brother is in the next room and he's doing something, you can hear him walking and talking. It's not that idea. Like hearing about Shrutva Bhrataram. Then brother is described as with matted hair, eating barley cooked in cow urine, and lying on the ground.
Valkala.
Yeah. Valkala. Oh, yeah, we have one more. Yeah, so all these things. This is all connected to brother. So that's the sentence. The greatly compassionate Lord felt pain upon hearing. You can say upon hearing about his brother who had matted hair and all these descriptions. That's the sentence. Then the next verse goes Bharataha. Oh, sorry, Bharataha. That's the brother. Okay, masculine. 1-1. It's the name. Bharata. Praptam. What is praptam?
Rich,
Prapta.
Something.
attained, reached.
Something that was obtained, something that was reached. Yes, it's adjective. Ridanta. It's from pra prefix, and the dhatu is ap. You know that word apnoti. Okay. In the Bhagavad Gita, you have it several times. It's not on the top of my mind, but you do remember that word apnoti. Okay. pra and up. So means to completely obtain, okay? And prapta is something that is obtained. Obtained. So it is a, what do we call this participle that ends in ta? That has the ending ta? We usually call them past passive, okay? Past passive participle, because often it indicates past tense. It often indicates the passive idea. Just like here, praptam. It might not be necessarily past tense here. It could be, you know, present perfect. So yeah, anyway. Praptam. Akarnya. What about akarnya? Okay, we see that ya at the end.
Gerund.
Gerund, another gerund. Other things can also have ya at the end, but you have to see if you see some kind of a verb before it, then it's most likely gerund. A plus karn. Okay, so karn means to hear, and akarn specifically, it's used with that akarn. Akarn, to hear, give ear to listen. That's from Aptes dictionary. Akarn. So how do we transform it into a gerund? To hear.
Haven't here.
Okay. Hearing. Yeah. Hearing. Next. Pauramatya purohitaihi. Okay. Noun. Masculine. Tell me the vibhakti. 3.
3.3.
Aihi. And if the okay, if the word ends in a, like here purohita, then it will always be purohitaihi. And if word ends on anything else but a, what would be the ending instead of aihi?
Bihi.
Bhihi, yeah. So you remember always that, yeah? Bhihi or aihi. This is 3. Third case plural. So purohita means a priest, okay?
Priest.
And here they are plural, okay? Now what about pauramatya? Is it one word or?
Paura plus amatya.
Paura and amatya. I'm sorry, I lost my cursor. So amatya, okay, that's a known word meaning ministers, okay? Ministers. And again, I use plural ending here because I don't see it. I don't see the vibhakti inside the samasa, but from the context, I assume that there are many ministers. It was not just one minister. And what about paura? Paura. Can anybody guess?
Citizens.
Well, paura means something related to pura. The city is pura, yeah? And in relation to pura, you get paura. So that first u expands into au. It's also a grammatical operation. So paura means related to city, okay? Paura, relating to a city or town, produced in town, civic, and so on and so on. Also means a townsman, citizen. You were right, okay? So citizens, paura. Priests, ministers, citizens. This is what we call, when we list things in the samasa, it is called dvandva, okay? Dvandva samasa. Like we have a bahuvrihi samasa, it's a specific type of samasa. The samasa, which is a list, citizens, ministers, and priests, okay? That's called dvandva. Literally, dvandva means a couple or two. And the logic is that, you know, each word in this samasa is equally important. Just like in the list, you cannot say that this item is more important than the other item. In other kinds of samasas, you will not have like that. You will always have some kind of a word, you know, dominating. But in Dvandva samasas, as their lists, it's just list, yeah, item. So priests, you can say maybe with priests.
With all the
Yes, this is called the sahartha, yeah. And paduke, paduke. This is I wanted to brainstorm you about this. Paduke. We know paduka. Now, what case it is here?
2.2.
dual.
Yes, you are smart. It's a feminine noun. 2.2 of paduka. You can just look it up. Those for whom it is new. Feminine tables. It will be the very first table of nouns ending in long a. Paduke. Yeah. It looks as if it's kind of a seventh case of a masculine noun ending in short a, like paduke. But the thing is that the paduka is not masculine. It has a long a. 2 shoes or sandals, better. Yeah. Sandals. 2 sandals. Shirasi. Shirasi.
On the head.
On the head. Yeah. Neuter.
7
7-1.
1.
Yeah. The word is shiras.
Zero.
Shiras. Oh. On the head. Nyasya. Nyasya. Again.
Gerald.
Yes, we're seeing that ya at the end. And therefore we must suspect a verb. And, you know, suppose I don't know the verb, okay? I look at the word, I see that ya, okay? I know that, okay, gerunds often end on ya if the verb has a prefix. So let me look up nyas, okay? So I'm going to the dictionary, nyas, and here I have yes, nyas, it's a verb. To set, to put down, to place, to throw down, okay? To lay, to put in, place, you know, anyway, placing as a gerund. Placing. The verb is prefixed by ni, and the verb is as, to throw. So, but ni as becoming nyas, meaning to place, okay? So again, the instance of a verb manifesting some hidden meaning when it is combined with a prefix, or we call them upasargas in Sanskrit.
This is the prefix here.
Is it a prefix?
Ni.
Yeah. Huh? It's a prefix.
Ni is the verb or
No, it's not a verb. There's a prefix ni. There is a verb ni with long e, to lead.
okay.
But here it's a prefix. There are prapara, pasaman, vava, nirdur, abhi, vi, adi, ni, pratiparyapaya. There's about 15 or 16, oh no, maybe 14 prefixes existing in Sanskrit. I will upload one shloka that lists all of them, so that you will have, just by remembering a shloka, you will know all the prefixes in Sanskrit. So it goes like this. Prapara pasaman vava nirdurabhi vyadhini vyadisudatini pratiparyapaya. And the rest is I'm sorry, I forgot it. But anyway, the whole verse gives you a list of the thank you. Prapara pasaman vava nirdurabhi, it's on chat. Vyadisudatini pratiparyapaya. Upaang, what? Okay, I forgot those two. Upaang iti vingshatiresha sakhe, 20. Upasarga vidhih kahitah kavina. So 20. So the verse says, "Oh friend, there are 20 prefixes listed by the scholar, and not sure which scholar. Somebody must have compiled them in a, but yeah." Just know one verse and you will know them all. Nyasya pray and Ramam. Okay. Ramam is
Noun masculine 1.
noun masculine 2-1. Ramam pratyudyato. Okay, I didn't write this word. Pratyudyata. So can somebody say what is pratyudyato?
Yataha pratyudyataha.
Yes, it's pratyudyataha. And what kind of word it is? Okay, it's not something that we see quite often, but anyway, I'll tell you, it's a present active participle. Okay, and the verb. So the suffix that makes it into participle is at, and the verb is I. The root is I, means to go. Now the root is prefixed by ut, means to stand up, and prati, to stand up in front. So prati ut I becomes pratyudi, okay? And then on the top you apply, there's a suffix called shatri, and at is the actual suffix. And pratyudyataha, I'm sorry, udyataha. Udyataha. It will not be udyataha. It will be, I think, just the ta udyata. No, udyataha.
What is E?
It's a verb. It's a one-letter verb that is here. I'm just
What it means?
sorry.
What it means?
To go. Now ud-i means to rise, like udaya. You get from that verb. Ud-i, and the pratyud-i means to, to rise up in front. Okay, and pratyudyataha. It would be the standing up. It's an adjective, yeah, like standing up. I think yes, and it would be just let me confirm one thing.
Is it 2.3?
Yeah, udyata. No.
Gachan, gachanto, gachantah, gachantam, gachatah.
You know what? It's just 1-1. It's just the kta. E plus
Kta.
ta. So standing up, and therefore it will be masculine 1-1. Yeah, it seemed to be. So it's not present active participle. It's just it's what we call past passive, but it's not past passive here. So yeah, standing up. Yeah, udyataha. So this is not a complete sentence. This last verse is not a complete sentence, and we will need another meeting tomorrow to make it complete, because it will be tied up with the following actually 2.5 verses. But for time being, we can even we can just join it. So Bharata, where is the kriyas? Okay, one is akarnya. Okay, hearing. Another action word.
Placing. Nyasa.
Hearing and
Yes,
placing. Yeah, hearing and placing. Yeah, yes, yeah, oh, yeah. And Bharata will be the subject. In replacing now,
Pratyuddhata.
yes, it will describe Bharata. So he rised up, stood up. Yeah.
Mm.
Then okay, what's the object?
Rama.
Ramam. And object of what? Object of, I think object. No, it cannot be object of a noun. So object of hearing. So he heard about Rama. Again, the same thing.
Rama.
Yeah, he heard. Now that Rama has come. Then placing. What's the object of placing?
Paduka.
Placing
Paduke.
the two padukas on his head, and that will be the location of placing. Yeah. Then okay, what about praptam? We did masculine to one. Yeah, it will be with ramam. Now what it means obtained, what do we actually mean to say here? Oh,
Reaching.
Reached.
Yeah, he basically met. He had obtained Rama in the sense that, you know, he's about to meet him. He's within his reach now. Praptam. And next,
Rama has arrived. Hearing Rama arrived.
oh, praptam. Yeah, praptam. Let's take. I'm hanging here. I'll reload. Yeah, that describing as Rama that has reached the praptam. Yeah, I think it's good. Praptam.
It's like the previous one, hearing about Rama.
Yeah. So it will refer to Rama who has actually reached. Yeah, praptam. Yeah, true. So about, yeah, like in the previous verse. Now, what about this tritiya with priests, ministers, and citizens? Where do we connect that to?
Praptam.
Now, if praptam describes Rama, who has reached the city, now Rama didn't reach the city with citizens, ministers, and priests.
So Akarnya.
Akarnya, yeah, is another possibility. So hearing along with his, along with those people. So Bharata, standing up, okay, upon hearing with his, you know, having heard with his, along with his citizens, ministers, and priests about Rama who has reached, okay, and placing the two sandals that Rama actually has given him on his head, and tomorrow we'll read the rest. This is so far not a complete sentence because we have not seen a proper verb so far, and the verb is quite far from us, so that's why I will leave it for tomorrow. All right, so any questions from today?
There is a word agrajam.
Okay, agrajam, one more. Yeah, agrajam. So yeah, meaning elder brother, and it would go to Rama. Agraja. Agraja basically, just by its derivation, means that, because agra means in front or before, and ja means born. So born before, agraja, his elder brother. Yeah, non-masculine, 2-1. And okay, thank you for that. And anything else is here that you'd like to discuss? Okay, so I would like to ask, yeah, if you like, you can take a screenshot before I close this diagram. And I would like to ask some of the members something. Sure. Yeah. I would like to ask some of you, especially those of you who have recently studying Sanskrit. How is your experience? Are you trying to read something on your own? Do you notice any progress in your understanding? So just to kind of touch base with you, just to know how you are doing. Anybody would like to share about your progress, some kind of aha moments or something? How they call it nowadays? Yeah. Okay, Vineet would like to say something. Yeah, please. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I don't actually have aha moment because I haven't actually really started learning Sanskrit yet. In
Yeah.
fact, it's so incredible. I was thinking from quite a long time that I really want to learn Sanskrit so that I can study all our Gaudiya Vaishnava texts properly and go deeper. And the very next day a mail popped up on my forum. I'm in the Mayapur forum talking about your Sanskrit sense, the whole program. So I actually understand next to nothing of what is going on right now, obviously, because I have never studied Sanskrit. But I would like to start, and I'm just looking for some directions as to what is the best way to go about the whole thing, really.
Yeah, well, I think you have a great chance here to start your studies, because if you go into the reference materials on the website.
Right.
You just spend every day minimum 10 minutes. If you have more time, please just.
Oh yeah, I can actually, I have earmarked about 1 hour every day for studying Sanskrit. So
yeah, so you can use your own materials. Otherwise, yeah, I have some of the materials on the website in the reference section. And then come on the meetings, and gradually things will start making sense.
Right.
It's kind of in the beginning 100% is new, then the next day 95% is new, then 90, and then gradually, you attend for some time, and everything you will be able to follow everything. Yeah.
Sure. I would just like to thank you, Prabhu. I feel it's an incredible initiative, and I had no clue that something of this sort was going on, and I'm just so happy that I can actually get some direction, and there's a community which is active, and you're putting in so much effort. So yeah, thanks a lot.
Well,
and also one more thing, the study guide that you had put together in the resource, which talks about various books, at what level they are, what is the content. I found that incredibly helpful. That was super. I was just wondering, there is an ocean of material. What to do? Just lost. After reading that, I can make some decision. Okay, this is how I would like to start, this textbook to follow, etc.
Yeah, and I would like to use it as a chance to announce to others, if you didn't discover it, in the reference material section, I have put up there a bibliography guide that basically gives you a list of all available kind of famous study guides on Sanskrit that you can go through and decide if you really want to go deep. You can go and get one of these books. So that's yeah. Thank you for mentioning it again, and yeah, and thanks to the lockdown, because otherwise I wouldn't have started this reading room at least you know, till the beginning of the next year. But somehow or other, this whole situation in the world pushed me, you know, to do something, because otherwise you just
Yeah.
to have an interaction on a you know.
Something good always comes out of even the most.
Yeah. So and yeah, we have yeah, Ramananda Prabhu is saying, I understand very little, but appreciate you allowing me to attend. I can still pick up something and get familiar with terms and especially words. Maybe in 2 or 3 years I can follow significantly. Oh yes, definitely. Even if you don't understand any one of you or someone of you, even if you don't understand the technicalities that we discuss, even the way, you know, the words, the meanings, yeah, even that is very useful. And yeah, believe me, 2-3 years it will happen much sooner than that. Yeah, that I can assure you of that. Yeah, especially if you take a little time and do your own study, cover some of the material on your own, that will equip you with more you know, frame of reference and understanding. That will be even more efficient, effective, sorry. Yeah. Okay, anyone else would like to share something?
Hare Krishna, Nityananda Prabhu, Dandot Pranam, Sargveshwara Prabhupada. This is Srinivas Acharya Das from Boise.
Oh, Boise. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I remember you, yeah, very well.
Yeah. So I just want to say thank you so much for this effort. I wish I could join more. But for the sake of others, I know Nityananda Prabhu very well in Vrindavan. One of very few souls from Gopi Pranadhana Prabhu's school who is significantly putting his efforts to spread Sanskrit. I'm very, very happy. There are so many institutions now spreading Sanskrit, Sanskrit Bharati and other people. But I'm so happy that in our Gaudiya Vaishnavism, Nityananda Prabhu is putting so much effort on his own time, his own resources. This is something really, really incredible. So please take advantage. And I hope to join sometimes, Prabhu, these morning times. It's right now 7:30 in Boise. I have other things on all days except today. So I came in. So thank you very much for your service.
Don't worry, because we are recording all our meetings on my YouTube channel. So whenever you have time.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah,
I looked them up.
Sanskrit Sense, and YouTube. Yeah, there is a playlist, reading room. So I've been recording since the beginning when we started slightly more than a month ago. So all the meetings are recorded.
Okay, nice. I will look them up. I'll definitely look them up. Yeah. So this is nice. Learning this way is very good. This is how Sanskrit Bharati people also do. But having a Vaishnava forum is excellent, because there you may get into Mayavadi stuff.
the thing is that yeah, it's kind of a direct immersion into the actual language.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, there is some use to kind of go through gradual way how the material is presented in the textbook. Okay. Ramaha vanam gacchati. Okay, and you understand. Okay, Rama goes to the forest, but ultimately, sooner or later, you have to bump into what we are reading here. You know, which is the real verses, and things are not really presented in a student-friendly way, should I say. You know, you have a verb here and the subject totally on the other side of the verse. So if a student of Sanskrit is you know, exposed to this kind of language, to this kind of construction from the very beginning, it will be, I think, beneficial. You know, it feels out of comfort zone totally. I agree with that, but it does prove useful in the long run, because I've seen many Sanskrit students, my classmates, or later on, you know, some students in the same Govardhan school where I was studying, they knew grammar, and you know, but when they were facing the real verses, they had problems. you know.
Yes.
So and
Yeah.
that's why,
This,
and that's
yeah.
why from the very beginning of your journey of studying Sanskrit, you must face, you must kind of put your head a bit into what we are doing in this meeting room, because the real language, the real verses is something that you know you might be struggling with even after knowing a whole grammar. That's the
True.
thing.
Yeah.
Until you actually start breaking your head and learning adopting that kind of a vision, that what I call Sanskrit sense. That's how I came up with the name for the my project. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, it's a specific sense that you have to develop, that is not just gained by knowing the endings, you know. It's just you have to be exposed to this process on a regular basis, month after month, and then it comes. You kind of, it slowly rubs off on you.
Yes.
Initially, it might be unnoticeable. You might still feel a bit lost, you know, after a week or two, you know, but, you know, gradually you start kind of grabbing the straw, you know, like drowning man. So you start feeling, so, oh, okay, I know this much already. Yeah, I know that. And that you grab onto it, okay? And that will lead you onto another thing. And that will lead you to another thing. And slowly you zoom out, and you see the whole picture. And it just looks like what we are coming up with at every class on the whiteboard. You read the verse, and what we make on our or the diagram that we are making on our whiteboard, it's there in your head, you know. You just, by looking at the verse, you just see it all on the spot, you know. And
Actually, I would want to say what you're saying right now, because any words that we are now taking up to read or something, then we start thinking like how we are doing right now in the class. So trying to put things, you know, what is the subject, object, you know, what is this word, it refers to how it's connected. So it makes it, we are starting to think in that way and look in the verse like that, and makes more meaning and to understand better. And
it makes you more confident in your understanding, because you know that you're not just a kind of putting things together just intuitively, but you are backed up by some grammatical knowledge, and you have the tools, actual concrete tangible tools to join it all together. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes, Nityananda Prabhu, thank you very much. I couldn't agree
coming.
less.
Thank you for coming up. Are you still pursuing Sanskrit? Are you still
Actually I did on my own, and I finished a good amount of Sanskrit Bharati, 3 levels. Kovida is the last one, and I'm lazy to finish that part, but yes, so this immersion technique is something I really agree. It's just like teaching to a child. A child doesn't come and learn grammar and everything details in the beginning. He starts speaking, you know, you start pointing him out, this is what it is. And 5-6 years, he's speaking the language without knowing too much grammar.
That's
yeah. So the pedagogical technique that you are trying to do is absolutely necessary. Thank you very much.
All right. If anybody else would like to share something.
Well, I want to thank you and want to share this thing that probably I'm the one who is getting the most benefit out of this class, because here in Pakistan, there isn't a single institute where Sanskrit is being taught, you know, and even the basics are not in the course of any institute. So staying in Pakistan and learning Sanskrit, it's a big thing, and your platform is doing very well job, and I'm learning a lot here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, all of you.
Yeah, I'm really happy I'm able to be of some use to you and to your field of studies, and really I'm happy of being of some assistance to that. Yeah, thank you for supporting and coming here every day. Yeah, it's nice.
We are also inspired by this this person from Pakistan. He's showing so much interest in you know, learning Sanskrit, you know, from that part of the world.
That was the center. That was the center of the Sanskrit. What was the place in Pakistan? I forgot. That's where Chanakya and big scholars, I think went to
Yes,
school
yes,
over
in
there.
Texila, the ancient city of
Yes,
Takshashila.
Takshila.
Wait,
Takshila is the seat of learning.
what's the city name? Oh,
Texila,
Takshashila.
modern day we call it Texila, but in ancient times it was
Takshashila.
Takshashila,
Takshashila.
oh, Takshashila. Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah,
Takshashila.
yeah.
the center of Gandhara civilization.
So maybe you'll bring back glory to Pakistan.
All right, and yeah, who we have here? Yeah, all right. So I guess we can stop for today, and tomorrow we'll have 2.5 verses just to complete the sentence that we started. And yeah, just to update you, I'm working on the verb reference material, and it's coming out really nice. I can just give you a small kind of a teaser. It's here. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Can you see? Oh, okay, so
Yes.
this is the verb. It's a kind of an introduction, and then I'll have the endings with various meanings of each tense. Like present tense, for example, it's not only used for present. It's used for a bunch of other things. So all the meanings will be there. Just like for the nouns, you know, I had this case tables with the meanings. In the same way, I'll have now for the verbs, and hopefully this week I'll finalize it, and yeah, if not by tomorrow, then by Monday it will be out on the website. Anyway, I'll announce to you that, and we'll start working gradually on the I think that will be the holy grail of all of you, participles. Yeah, that's the something which is so often seen, but something is so elusive, you know, because there's so many of them, and how exactly they work, past passive, present active, and all those things. So ultimately we are all building up to that, you know. Participles is the holy grail of Sanskrit grammar, because they are really all over the place. Anyway, so we are developing, and yeah, enthusiastically, and yeah, thank you all very much for motivating me. Yeah, because this is really nice. Whenever any one of you shares something, it's really inspiring me to do more work. So please don't hesitate. Even if you want to write me a personal email, just if something that you liked, or maybe if there is some space for improvement that I could implement, you know, please don't hesitate, write it, because you know, we have started it as a reading room, but you never know, it might develop into something bigger. Let's see. I have no idea what's gonna happen in future, but for now, let's you know, put our best efforts into what we have. And yeah, so I'll not take more of your time. Thank you all so much. And yeah.
Prabhu,
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Vineet is speaking. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's not relevant for anyone else. I just wanted to take 2 minutes of your time to ask a couple of questions.
Okay, fine.
That's possible.
All right. So yeah, thank you all very much. Namo Namaha, Hare Krishna, Srimad Bhāgavatam ki jai.
Jai,
See you all
thank you.
tomorrow. Yeah, and I will stay.
All power to you.
Yeah, I'll stay with Vineet, and he wanted to ask me some questions. Yeah, please.
Yeah. So, Prabhu, like I mentioned, I'm a brahmachari actually in the Govardhan ashram. And my basic interest in Sanskrit is to be able to read all our Gaudiya Vaishnav literature, possibly originally in Sanskrit. So, so what would you recommend is the best way to start about it? Like I was thinking, are you aware of something which treats Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam in a grammatical way, so that I can study Bhagavatam or Gita and simultaneously learn grammar through studying it? Is that something that I can do? Is it possible?
Yeah, well, for the Gita, you have this 3-volume set that was made by Hari Venu Das a long time back. You might still be lucky to get a copy of it in Aloi Bazaar or somewhere else in those Vrindavan bookshops. It's called Bhagavad Gita Sanskrit by Hari Venu. So what he did there is he